I started my work without actually planning to. I started because my child had suffered effects of pollution from a corporation, and also some of a community that I knew had also suffered from effects of pollution. And so I just started as an individual addressing the issues of pollution. And in this case, it was a serious case because they were exposed to chemical poisoning, that is lead poisoning. I managed to influence the closure of the smelter that was poisoning the community. I continued also because I realized it was not an issue that was affecting only this one community, but so many other communities in Kenya were dealing with the same issues.
We initiated a local radio program that would casually discuss human rights issues, but over time, of course, it gradually transformed into discussing quite more issues, and the land questions came up. I think what was a real turning point into myself becoming or realizing that I'm a human rights activist was when a radio transmitter was attacked and burnt down because the radio station had been warned to stop broadcasting our radio programs.
Every day there will be challenge, because this women human rights defender, basically they work against violence against women, for the women's right, where our society, takes that as a taboo, especially those women who work on sexual and reproductive health and right, those who work against sexual violence. So all the time, they get leveled as a kind of women who break the families. And kind of every day there will be one or another issue of violence against women human rights defenders. And being a woman from a country like Nepal, very strong patriarchal mindset, and dealing, kind of all the time confronting is definitely a challenge. And that challenge that at personal level, at political level.
I've had quite a fair share of challenges in my work. I think from 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, I've always been arrested at least once a single year.
Now the civil society in Bangladesh is under attack. People having dissenting voices can't express their opinion very openly, and many political detainees are in jail. Newspaper editor, journalists are in jail. I was in jail.
Political violence and the political repression that we in Sri Lanka as human rights workers had to face during the previous regime, when white vans came and took our friends away.
In a society that the discrimination against women is inherited, it's part of the construct and identity, you can imagine how difficult is that. Every morning I look at my purse and I think that, okay, because I might not come back home, so you make sure, okay, I should have my toothbrush, I should have some underwear, I should have, because I might not come back.
Many times you encounter non-responsive policymakers. Sometimes the lack of responsiveness, it creates frustration sometimes, and you're wondering, why do I have to continue to do this? Because there are many cases where you feel like you've failed. The perception of, for example, politicians, and increasingly the perceptions of companies towards human rights actors. How the tendency to view human rights actors as opponents, as opposed to people who are trying to make life better for everybody.
The biggest achievement, I believe, is when we managed to shut down the smelter, because it had a lot of political protection. I don't like to shut down industries because there's economic interest to people. But in this instant, it was a matter of life and death, because there were so many children who have died.
Working with men against all forms of violence against women, and see a transformation in some of the young men attitudes and behavior, and they say, I get it. Now I can understand, that if I did that, it actually gets back to me.
The best moments are like when you see that your friends are getting mobilized, when you see that people's power is getting strengthened. So best moments are the moments which empowers your work.
It could be that you're advocating for a particular piece of legislation to create more accountability, for example, in the management of public finances. And that day when you see that act has been passed by Parliament and you know that it's really going to impact a lot. That moment when you go back to the community and people are saying, thank you, this has changed. Our health center is now open on a Sunday. We now have access to medicines. It's really fulfilling because you feel that, yes, you've chosen to earn a living in a way that is also impactful to other people.
There was a group of girls who were rescued from different brothels of India, and they were brought to Nepal. Several organizations has kept them for the kind of shelter, and there were one group of women who were with OREC, and I provided training, I developed training package, I worked with them. So now they came out with a kind of first survivors organization in the world, Shakti Samoa, and they have received several international awards and other things. I think that is my best moment when I see, because what I feel that, okay, I have been able to change life of thousands of women, but this group of women, who were kind of uneducated, who were in the brothels of India but came, and then now they are known in the world, and then now almost all, they have completed even their schooling, they're in college, and they are independent. Awareness level has been increased among women at the grassroots. The way how women human rights defenders are kind of coming up very in an articulated way and challenging social norms, I see that, okay, things are going to be changed, which gives really hope.
Every moment someone feels that he has achieved justice as a result of my effort, that is the most update or current achievement in my life.